And in all this research, what did you discover of about Avraham and ha-Rambam's methodology and approach in Peirush commentary to Torah?
To me, the most important part of the process was understanding the library of Rabbenu, Avraham, and ha-Rambam. In other words, understanding what Rabbenu Avraham learned to understand what the different influences that he was assimilating in his own commentary. When we approach, I'll give you a more tangible example, is the Ibn Ezra. The Ibn Ezra belongs to the Andalusian school. It belongs to the Pshat school, what's today known as the Pshat school. Now, in yeshivas, we know nothing about that Pshat school. We weren't taught anything about that. We know Rashi, we know Tosfos, and we know the Ramban. And we know that the Ramban has issues with the Ibn Ezra because Ibn Ezra sometimes goes too far and he's too liberal. And we therefore view the Ibn Ezra as an outlier. We don't understand where the Ibn Ezra is coming from. But scholars will tell you that once you understand that you have to first look in Reb Saadia Gaon's translation. And Reb Saadia Gaon's Arabic translation, which is now available in Hebrew translation, is the bedrock of the entire Andalusian school. That's what they've learned. They learned Chumash from Reb Saadia Gaon. They don't learn Chumash Rashi, they learn Chumash Reb Saadia. So we're going to learn Reb Saadia Gaon's, even just his translation, but especially if you learn the longer commentaries of Rabbeinu Saadia, where he expounds on everything. Reb Saadia never met a tangent he didn't love. And if he sees an opportunity to explain something that was previously unexplained, he's going to take it. So his commentary is very long. So long, in fact, that the Ibn Ezra criticizes Reb Saadia Gaon. In the Ibn Ezra's introduction, he writes about how Reb Saadia Gaon's Pirushim are too long for anyone to learn. That's not useful. For us, it's an amazing treasure trove of golden material from Reb Saadia Gaon, more of which is becoming available as scholars pay attention to the Geniza's treasures. But so to understand Ibn Ezra, you've got to understand where he was coming from. You got to understand Reb Saadia Gaon. Now, Reb Saadia Gaon's translations, in turn, served as the basis for the linguistic school of Spain. Spain produced great medaktikim, Ibn Janach, Ibn Saruk, and later distilled in Hebrew by David Kimchi. So these works of grammar are essential to understanding where the Ibn Ezra is coming from, how he approaches his rules of dikduk, how he understands the different shorashim, how he translates different terms. All that you have to understand comes from what he was brought up on. So in Rabbenu Avraham, it was much the same. Understanding Rabbenu Avraham necessitated for me to go and explore that whole world that he was coming from. I've had to, of course, spend a lot of time in Reb Saadia Gaon. Now, a great benefit of my commentary, which did not exist in the Wiesenberg edition. The original edition was published before a lot of Reb Saadia had come to light. Reb Saadia's successor was Reb Shmuel ben Chafni Gaon, the father-in-law of Reb Hai Gaon. Reb Shmuel ben Chafni was the successor of Reb Saadia, and he continued where Reb Saadia left off, writing commentary to the parts of the Torah that Reb Saadia did not. Those commentaries also only came to light in the last 50 years or so, after the original edition had been published. The other Geniza riches, writings of Rabbenu Avraham, the second volume that I mentioned from Sefer HaMasbik, Tefillah, that also only came out after the Wiesenberg. So there was so much more available, so many more resources were now available to me. So I was really able to reconstruct the world that Rabbenu Avraham lived in to a degree that was not capable at the time of the first publication of the Sefer. So that to me was a big hurdle and a big challenge, and I hope I met it successfully, because I really immersed myself in that world, and I learned the Sifrei Dikduk, and I've learned the works of the Geonim. I spent as much time as I can reading the original Arabic works of the Rambam to understand the phrases and understand the background, and it wasn't easy, but I believe that was probably the most challenging part of this work, and hopefully my dealing with this challenge is reflected positively in the commentary.